Imagine waking from a dream so real, so terrifying, that it lingers long after you open your eyes. What if I told you some dreams aren't just in your head? That across the world, people have experienced visions that feel like warnings or glimpses of something far darker. Tonight, we're traveling across cultures, uncovering the creepiest dreams ever recorded. From shadowy visitors sitting on chests in Japan, to chilling premonitions whispered by ancestors in Africa, to restless spirits stalking sleepers in South America. Some dreams are terrifying, some are inexplicable, and some might make you question whether what happens in sleep is ever really just a dream. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night, completely unable to move, and felt like something was right there in the room with you? In Japan, this terrifying experience has a name, kanashibari. But what if I told you it's not just science? Some believe it's the work of a dark, ancient spirit, one that watches you while you sleep. Sleep paralysis might sound familiar to science-minded viewers, a moment where your body stays asleep while your mind wakes up. But in Japanese folklore, it's far more sinister. They call this presence the night hag, a yokai spirit that feeds on fear. Victims report feeling pinned down, unable to scream, and some even describe a dark figure sitting on their chest, staring right at them. Take the story of a young woman in Tokyo. She dreams of a shadowy figure slipping silently into her room. When she wakes, she's frozen, paralyzed, unable to move. And then, in the corner of her bedroom, just beyond the reach of the light, she sees it again. The same dark figure, watching. Another tale comes from a man in rural Kyoto. He had a vivid dream of a twisted figure crouched at the foot of his futon. When he woke, he couldn't move. His arms and legs were locked. In a panic, he tried to shout, but no sound came out. And though the room was empty, he could feel it, as if eyes were boring into him from the darkness. Western science explains sleep paralysis as your brain stuck in a strange limbo between dreaming and waking. During REM sleep, your body is paralyzed to prevent you from acting out your dreams. Sometimes your mind wakes up too early, leaving you awake but frozen. It's harmless, and yet, it feels terrifying. But Japanese culture tells a very different story. The night hag, or kanashibari, is more than just a hallucination. For centuries, it's been described in folklore as a spirit that intentionally preys on people in vulnerable states. People say it can manifest anywhere, slipping between dreams and reality, feeding off your fear and leaving you powerless. Some traditions even suggest protective charms or rituals can ward off the hag. Proof that this experience is taken seriously and feared deeply. Interestingly, the night hag often appears during moments of stress, illness, or emotional turmoil, suggesting that the folklore may have grown from these terrifying but explainable experiences. Yet the stories always add that supernatural edge. And in a culture rich with ghost stories, yokai, and spirits, it's easy to see why this one has remained so hauntingly real across generations. And Japan isn't the only place where dark visitors haunt sleep. In West Africa, dreams take on a very different, and often deadly, meaning. Across West Africa, dreams aren't just random images flickering in your mind. They're messages from the ancestors. Some dreams are simple visions, maybe a warning or advice. Others, they can be deadly, chilling omens that blur the line between sleep and reality. In many West African cultures, dreams are considered a direct link to the spirit world. Elders and shamans believe that through dreams, ancestors communicate, warn, or even guide the living. Some people wake with a sense of peace, others with a deep, unshakable fear, as if the message they received isn't just symbolic, it's real. One man in Ghana dreamt of a stranger struggling in a river. Days later, his cousin almost drowned in that very same river. He swears the dream saved their life. He warned the family just in time. Dreams like this are called precognitive dreams, believed to carry real-world significance. Another story comes from a village in Nigeria. A young woman dreams of a shadowy figure scratching at her window, whispering her name. When she wakes, she finds tiny scratches on her arm, and her window is slightly open, even though she remembers locking it. Some locals believe the spirit of an ancestor or a warning entity physically reaches into the dreamer's world. Western science might shrug and call these coincidences, or attribute them to sleep disturbances or imagination. But in African folklore, the dream world and waking world are deeply connected. Dreams aren't random, they're portals. A single dream can warn of danger, reveal hidden truths, or even punish wrongdoers. Many tribes employ dream interpreters, elders who can decode the visions, symbols, and even strange objects that appear in dreams. They read these signs carefully, because in this worldview, ignoring a dream isn't just risky, it can be fatal. Interestingly, dreams with physical effects, scratches, bruises, cold spots in the room, are reported in multiple cultures, suggesting that humans across the globe have long believed that spirits or energies can cross the threshold from sleep into reality. But dreams aren't just warnings or messages. Across the Americas, some dreams become shockingly physical, even deadly. What people see in their sleep can sometimes touch them, and others, in ways they never imagined. Across the Andes and deep into South America, dreams aren't just stories your mind tells you while you sleep. They're warnings, visions, premonitions. In some cultures, a single dream can predict death, disaster, or misfortune, sometimes with chilling accuracy. In Andean cultures, people have long believed that dreams can cross into the waking world, serving as alerts from spirits, ancestors, or nature itself. Seeing certain signs or colors isn't random. It carries meaning. A dream of a red-clad figure, for instance, might signal illness or bad luck. Ignoring these dreams isn't just unwise, it can be dangerous. In Peru, a woman dreams her roof collapses during a storm. She wakes uneasy but brushes it off. Hours later, as rain pours over her village, part of her roof caves in, almost exactly as she saw it in the dream. She swears it wasn't imagination. The dream saved her from being under the rubble. One man in rural Chile dreams of a dark, shifting figure chasing him through narrow, foggy streets. He wakes, terrified, and notices scratches on his arms and back that he doesn't remember getting. Locals believe this is a spirit crossing into his dream and leaving traces in the physical world. An elder in Chile tells of a young boy who dreamed of his friend wearing red clothing, standing silently in a field. Days later, the friend fell seriously ill. In these cultures, the color red in a dream is no coincidence. It's a warning sign, a message from the unseen world. Anthropologists may try to explain these as psychosomatic responses, sleep disturbances, or the mind processing danger cues. But in South American folklore, dreams are much more than internal signals. They're seen as a bridge between the spiritual and physical worlds. Some communities believe that spirits, ancestors, or elemental beings can cross over into dreams, leaving signs, symbols, or even physical marks. And in villages where dream interpretation is a respected practice, these visions are carefully analyzed to prevent harm, protect loved ones, and prepare for the future. And it's not just South America where dreams hold power. In Europe, some dreams have haunted people for centuries, revealing messages of death, war, and dark secrets long before history recorded them. Even in Europe, dreams weren't always seen as harmless. From the Middle Ages onward, people feared that their nighttime visions could be messages, either from the devil, restless spirits, or something far darker. In some cases, dreams were taken so seriously they were recorded in diaries, warning others of death, disease, or disaster before it arrived. Before modern science, dreams were a powerful lens into the unknown. Europeans believed that nightmares weren't just your imagination. They were warnings, sometimes prophetic, sometimes terrifyingly precise. Being chased by unholy creatures, seeing plagues, wars, or death in dreams. All could foreshadow events in waking life. In 17th century Germany, a woman wrote in her diary about a dream of her neighbor lying dead in the street. 2 nights later, her neighbor was found dead in eerily similar circumstances. She described the dream with such clarity it still sends chills to historians today. Another account comes from France in the 1600s. A soldier dreamed repeatedly of a looming battle where friends would fall. He warned his comrades, and shortly after, a skirmish erupted just as he had seen. Many believed these dreams were messages from angels or spirits, offering warnings to those who would listen. In Scotland, legends tell of dreams that predicted tragedy. In the Highlands, a farmer reportedly dreamed of a mysterious figure dressed in black walking silently across his fields. Days later, a terrible storm swept through his village, destroying crops and killing livestock. Locals insist the dream was a warning from a restless spirit, proof that dreams could cross the veil between worlds. During the Black Death, countless diaries describe people dreaming of pale, shadowy figures moving silently through towns, foreshadowing the disease's spread. While modern science sees this as coincidence or fear-driven imagination, folklore insisted these dreams were glimpses into another dimension, a world that mirrored reality in terrifying ways. Modern science might dismiss these as coincidences, or the brain processing anxieties and environmental cues. But folklore paints a different picture. Dreams were often considered windows into other realms. In Europe, dreams could warn, threaten, or teach lessons, and ignoring them was thought to invite misfortune. This belief persisted across centuries, influencing literature, art, and even law, where dreams were sometimes presented as evidence of premonition or moral warning. The line between imagination and the supernatural was thin, and sometimes deadly. Across cultures, one theme is clear. Our ancestors believed dreams could be dangerous. And even today, in the modern world, dreams continue to terrify, warn, and mystify people in ways science still struggles to explain. Even in our modern scientific world, dreams can still terrify us, and sometimes they seem to cross over into reality. Across Reddit threads, news reports, and forums, people are sharing experiences that feel too real to be imagination. From seeing family members in peril before it happens, to recurring dreams of shadowy figures, to entire scenarios that feel more real than reality itself. Modern dreams often echo the same eerie patterns that ancient cultures documented. It seems no matter where or when you live, some dreams refuse to stay in the world of sleep. A woman in the US dreams of a skinwalker-like creature stalking her through a dark forest. She wakes screaming. A week later, neighbors report strange animal attacks on livestock nearby, animals that shouldn't even live in the area. The woman swears she saw the creature in her dream before anyone else did. Another case comes from a man in Canada. He repeatedly dreams of his young daughter near a busy road, frozen in fear. Days later, she almost steps into traffic, but he's able to stop her just in time. He believes the dream was a warning, a precognitive vision. Countless people report recurring dreams of shadowy figures lurking in corners, sometimes paralyzing them in bed. Sleep paralysis often amplifies this fear, leaving victims feeling trapped as if the figures could reach into the real world. Modern science has some fascinating explanations for these eerie experiences, but even researchers admit that not everything can be neatly explained. Precognitive dreams. Some scientists suggest our brains are constantly processing tiny cues and probabilities we may not consciously notice. Dreams could highlight these insights, giving the illusion of predicting the future, sometimes with unnerving accuracy. Lucid dreaming gone wrong. Being aware inside a dream can be thrilling or terrifying. Normally, lucid dreamers can control their dreams, but when the brain misfires, the dream can feel completely out of control, conjuring fears far beyond what you could imagine awake. Sleep paralysis. One of the most unnerving explanations. Your body remains in REM sleep, paralyzed to prevent you from acting out dreams, while your mind wakes. The result? You're conscious but trapped, often seeing shadowy figures, feeling pressure on your chest, or sensing a presence. The combination of immobility and fear makes it feel like something is really there. Psychophysiological responses. Stress, trauma, lack of sleep, or even late-night caffeine can amplify dream intensity. Rapid heartbeat, sweating, or shallow breathing can make a dream feel overwhelmingly real. Have you ever had a dream so real it stayed with you for days? Maybe even changed how you acted when you woke? Share your story in the comments below. Your dream could be the next chilling tale featured on Between Realms. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more stories that explore the edge between the supernatural and the human mind. Because sometimes reality is stranger and far scarier than our dreams.